Hey, it is time now for the new Super Sound Showcase sponsored by Culture Fix. I'm your host, Robert Hodge, and it is indeed a fine day, not just because it's my birthday, but because I have one of the most popular bands in Richmond joining us today. This is The Folly. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Hi,
Happy
thank
birthday.
you for having us, and happy
Well,
birthday.
thank you. This is exciting because you guys have not been on Super Sound or WMBG before.
No, we haven't.
And they are known a little bit in the Williamsburg area, but probably not as much as they will be soon. Culture Fix, our sponsor, actually had you at the Kimball Theater as part of one of their shows.
They did.
So they are ideally familiar with you and will probably be happy to find that you are now here on Super Sound Showcase today. So tell us, Jordan, you were one of the two founders of the group.
Yes.
Give us a little history about the Folly.
Oh gosh, history it has.
Yes.
Well, I'd just been messing around, getting back into music and messing around with a few people, trying to get something together. And I'd started playing with my friend Ray and Jonathan, and we started getting something together. And I was just looking for a female vocalist, and somebody who I didn't know on Facebook just posted her name, Annalisa's name. And
Yeah.
so I just hit her up, and we met, and it's been going ever since. And then when we recorded our EP, we needed a fiddle player for one of the songs. Someone, again, just suggested Tara Dillard.
Okay.
So that day when we were recording that song called The Kraken, which we'll play today, we went back to my bassist Ray's house, and on the porch was sitting Tara, waiting for us
Yeah.
to go to the studio.
Always waiting on
So
us,
that
right?
day we met her. She knocked out the fiddle part, and
nice.
she's been with us ever since.
Yeah.
And then we had a changeover of
The original
instrumentalists.
personnel?
Yes,
Okay.
and then I'd been playing in another band with Josh and Maria here, and
Okay.
he said, "Hey, why don't you come over?" So he stopped everything else he was doing and came over. Yeah, I kind of just
of
wrangled everyone
wrangling.
up. So since 2015, we've been going at it.
that's great.
Some still with us from the original lineup, and some changes. So
And
it's
there is, in fact, if you're watching on Facebook, I'm about to show this is the new album. And when did this come out?
August 18th.
Oh, so this is
Recent.
very new.
Yeah, she's new.
Yes.
And is this the first recording, or is there another one?
We did an EP before, which was just 4 or 5 songs.
Mm-hmm.
But this is our first full-length album.
With
Okay.
everybody, with everybody.
Yeah, with the whole team.
Yes.
And you also have there are two members that are not here today, right?
So we have a bass player that's a part of the core group, and then we have
Johnny Powell.
Yes, and then Jacob Larson does percussions with us, and Gordon Jones plays some saxophone with us,
Plays a mean
Well,
sax.
awesome.
and another other rotation of
Yeah.
instrumentalists.
So Annalisa, this mysterious friend who just offered your name up on Facebook, how long have you been singing? I mean, do you have your own following outside of the Folly, or?
Yeah, well, I've been singing as long as I can remember being a human, being alive,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah, and I was studying opera at VCU.
Oh,
And then
wonderful.
after graduating, I started putting out solo music, which is how Jordan found me. Like, if I hadn't started that project, he
Yeah.
would never have found me. And to this day, we don't know who that person was.
Really?
Yeah, that sent me that way.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Well,
to
that's
this day, we
funny.
Whoever
still
you
don't
are,
know.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And we all know that studying opera at VCU can lead to all kinds of things, because that's where we got Pat Benatar from.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, studying opera at VCU, and look what happened to her. And that is a marvelous example to follow.
Yeah.
So, Tara, violin came into your life at what point?
Violin, fiddle. I started when I was about 6.
Yeah?
So I've been playing for over 20 years. I played in Colonial Williamsburg, actually. I was born and
Oh.
raised in Williamsburg. Yeah.
Okay. So are you familiar with that popular distinction that's made between the difference between violin and fiddle?
Yep, violin has strings, fiddle
Yeah.
has strings. That's
Yes,
right.
exactly.
Right, baby.
And
So I play
I
the
assume that
strings.
since you're interchanging the titles, you are able to do both.
Yeah, I do.
That's marvelous. Well,
sir.
tell us about the songs that you choose. Do you write most of them? Or?
We write everything on our EP and our album are all originals. We do some covers for, we fill out the
For those
crowds.
3-hour shows?
Yeah, exactly. But yes, we are an original band, and some of them are songs that I've had that I've brought to the table. Some of them Annalisa had brought, and everyone is bringing all kinds of new ideas.
And so let me ask
everything.
you, from your point of view as a musician and as the leader of this band, what do you think makes the Folly different from other bands?
these people.
Okay.
We're
fair enough.
weirdos.
And from the perspective of your audience, what is it that they come for? What
Oh,
makes it
wait, and
different?
we really grab a huge demographic of various demographic. I mean, from anywhere. I mean, literally from
But what do
little
they tell you?
5-year-olds to
What do your
70.
your audience? What do they tell
Do
you
they-
that they love about the Folly? That makes why are you the favorite band of certain people?
They just say it's something new, it's something refreshing, something different, and it really is because of each of the people.
The
You know,
energy of the shows.
we have everyone comes from a
Sound of the
completely
music.
different background. You know,
Right.
we have like Afrobeat New Orleans over here on drums.
nice.
Traditional
Irish
fiddle here, like rock and roll, opera and dance music
Jazz
with her,
hands
and
and
our
sax.
bassist with kind of prog math rock, and our saxophonist with reggae jazz. So it just
Well,
really
that is
all
rather
of those
different,
elements. It was really tough at first. It was heart wrenching at first getting it together. We had no idea what it was we were doing
Right.
and what kind of sound we were creating.
And
it
so,
was-
how do you classify your current sound?
I don't.
Jeez.
I really
We've
don't.
been
I
at
just call it
that.
rock and roll now.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Give it
I
that blanket
really
rock
can't.
and roll, and then let you interpret that. How
You
you
gotta
will.
gotta get the album.
Yeah, would
Yeah.
you do that? No.
I have nothing.
It really is that's I know that's a lazy answer, but it's true. There's nothing, and other people have said that. So,
Are you creating a sound now, or are you producing a sound now that is what you envision, or are you still aiming for something a little different?
we aim for something different every time. I feel every song, everything, because as you go on experiencing life, every day is different. So you just gather all those different aspects and elements, and that'll create.
Once we lay
everything.
down one sound, it's ours, man. So we have
Yeah.
that forever.
So your next performances are where? What's happening?
Tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be at River City Roll in Richmond, Virginia, playing from 8 to 11.
Okay.
Yes.
And then we're doing another radio show Saturday.
on WRR in Richmond.
Richmond. We got a
Then-
big one in Charlottesville coming up with People's Blues of Richmond and Disco Risque, which is on October 6th
Yes.
at the Jefferson Theater.
In
Okay.
Charlottesville.
So you
Yeah.
are on the move, but nothing in Williamsburg at the moment. We might have to
yet.
straighten
we
that
did,
out.
we
Yeah,
would
we
we
should.
do have to
Love
remedy
to.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I know you've dabbled in the area a little bit, and
We
of
have.
course now that people are hearing you on Williamsburg radio, they're going to want to definitely check it out. And we have just rebranded. Actually, we are now FM 93.5 The Berg. We've moved to a stronger frequency. We've got 4 times the
Beautiful.
FM power that we had,
Oh, wow.
and
Okay,
a lot more coverage, a lot more solid, rich sound. So this is actually the first time we've done Super Sound on the new signal. So it'll be
wow.
interesting. You might sound better than anybody else.
Oh, hey.
Right.
So that'll be good. You think that'll happen, CJ? That could
Don't
be
blame it on the
perfect.
signal, though.
Yeah, right. But anyway, we are excited that you're here and excited to have this music. The album I've actually heard; it's very nice. And how would they get this album? What would you like them to do?
Well, they can contact us through our website, thefollymusic.com, and we have physical copies for sale, and it will be available on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify,
Awesome.
Google,
All the places
all
people
the
get-
places in
places.
about a week. Yeah, so
Oh, so
that'll
it's
be
coming up.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, we wanted to start with just the physical distribution first because it's a little tougher now to get
Sure.
people to buy the physical
Sure.
and then move into the digital. So that'll be over the next week. But yeah, follymusic.com.
Look
Okay.
us up on
Put this there,
Facebook
it'll all be
too.
there.
The Folly.
All right. So tell us about the music that we're going to hear today.
Well, we have 2 songs from the new album.
Okay.
One called "So You Go Howl," which is the first track on there, and then a song called "Beggin'," which is kind of more down-tempo bluesy song. And in the middle, we're gonna bring out a song from our EP called "The Kraken,"
Okay.
which is a good feature for Annalisa and Tara.
Gypsy pirate moment.
Oh, that
which
sounds
is
fun.
the
Oh, yeah.
song that when we first met Tara.
Which one is the gypsy and which one is the pirate?
Both interchangeable.
You never
Depends
know
on the
with
day.
us.
stuck
It's
in
a
between
big
them.
gamble.
Okay. Well, that sounds really fun. We are going to go to a commercial break, and we will be back in just about 3 minutes. We will be live streaming still on our Facebook page, on the WMBG Radio Facebook page. So you can continue to stay with us, even though the radio will go away. But we will be right back with music from The Folly. And I cannot wait to hear this music indeed. So don't go away. All right, we are back. You are now rejoined with the Super Sound Showcase for today with our special guest, The Folly. I am your host, Robert Hodge, and we are sponsored by Culture Fix here on FM 93.5 The Berg and WMBG AM 740 Williamsburg's radio station. And welcome back, everybody in The Folly. I am excited to hear this music. What's the first song?
So You Go Howl.
So You Go How. Is that grammatically sound? So You Go How.
So you go
Okay.
Does it have to be?
No, I'm just trying to figure out what it means.
We're about
All
to show
right.
you.
Let's hear it.
Don't know what to do, so you go howl.
Okay.
You
A surprise ending there. Well, that was very nice. I like that. Very catchy in a lot of ways. That hook there is going to be in my head probably for a couple of days. But I like the way it drops down to that unexpected change in the guitar solo, man.
Yeah,
That's an entirely different mood all of a sudden.
Little sanity in there.
Yeah, that's very nice. What's the next song?
Next we got The Kraken, and this is one from our first
From the
CD,
original.
From the original,
Okay.
yeah. But we love this tune. We just wanted to bring it back.
Yeah, what's it about?
So the first time I heard the instrumentals that Jordan and Ray and Jonathan had originally been working on, I was just like, this song is about a pirate. Like, it's about the sea. I don't know exactly what the story is, but that's what it's about. And
Okay.
so I had that feeling from it immediately, and then I decided to write specifically about the Kraken. So this is about the monster of the sea.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had a song. Well, actually, I almost said I'd never had a song about a sea monster, but Matt Thomas has a song about like a massive octopus.
Really?
Matt
Yeah,
Thomas.
we played with him at that Culture Fix.
Okay.
I think he mentioned that.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's hear the Kraken.
Lots of deep blue seas, sailors fear an untold story. Kraken, an unknown big forgotten fight, an unspoiled glory. That waters cling to you, the darling child of the sea. Red blood, your heart desires, darling child, and heart so free. You've nothing can, oh no, no, by those moments from losing life. Your sight is sailors, so many got forgotten now inside. Oh, have you caught their grace? You see the kind of words desperately. No man's dying, feeling from above you. Remember me. Hey, sailor, sea, set your flight, so that you carelessly. Hold me when you see, set your light, taking me through. Kraken, your sight is few, your numbers slight, your range still endless. It's sorry I sleep, you'll be terrors told if you're not vengeance. How many sailors' dreams have you brought from the coolest depths? How many wives and children lonesome have you left? Unmeasured, no corpse left where you hide your heart and glory. Is it a sailor's yarn, or are you true, the Kraken story? Or if your sign is down, if a man decides your place, it's time for your return to back the ocean seas. I'll show you a face. Monster of deepest seas, sailors fear an untold story. Kraken, an unknown thing, forgotten fight, an unspoken glory. Their waters cling to you, the darling child of the sea. Red blood, your heart desires, without a thousand hearts your
You always have the last word, don't you? You always have one more comment.
Just wait if our sax player was here, yeah.
That's funny. That's an interesting song. And Annalisa, it makes me realize that one of the things that I get discouraged about when I go see a band is so many of them really don't have much showmanship.
Oh.
That's not an issue for you. You're out there, you're telling the story, you're interpreting it, and the lyric is coming alive. And that's a very important thing, because I get awfully tired of watching a band just sort of have a third wall and act like the audience isn't out there, and then they sing and sing and sing, and then they eat and eat, and then they run out the door.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it's
consider
like,
myself a performer more than anything.
And that's wonderful. That you know what, I so agree with that, because showmanship is the one thing that will always set you apart. So the next time somebody asks you that question that I asked you earlier about what sets your band apart from the others, that really is a strong suit, and I like that very much.
Thank you.
Third song, what we got?
This one is called Beggin'. This is, I would call this our most radio-friendly song on our new album. We have a lot of longer songs going on, and this is just like short, gritty, not quite sweet, but rough. I like it.
Okay,
Yeah.
you sound like Tina Turner now. It's sweet and rough. All right.
Yeah, we just couldn't do that song instead.
Right.
Well, I had a girl, well, I had a dog, well, I had a conscience, but now
my. I was just thinking in my head before that abrupt ending, I was thinking, gosh, it must have taken a long time to really perfect the change into that erratic rhythm and then to rehearse y'all to the point where it was tight like that. Wow. That's pretty fancy stuff. All right. Well, this has been a fun edition of Super Sound Showcase with the Folly. We have had a great time. I've enjoyed the music. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you so much.
I feel so fortunate to be here on your birthday, too.
Well, I know, right?
Yes.
Has it been a good time for you?
Oh, it's been beautiful.
Well, good. Me too. I've
Stories,
had a great time. And please pick up their album, check it out, and give us that website one more time.
thefollymusic.com.
Okay, easy to remember, thefollymusic.com. And we will look forward to the next time we see you in Williamsburg and maybe the next time that you're back in the studio, because this is not the last time, I don't think. As long as you had a good time and we'll come back, we'll do this again sometime. So thank you as always for listening. It is a pleasure. And thank you, Culture Fix. Thank you to Steve, Jen, and Shirley. We appreciate you guys. Oh, and they're sending you their best as well. And we appreciate the sponsorship. And to the listeners, thank you always for joining us. It is our pleasure, and we couldn't do it without you guys listening on the other end. So we're going back to the music that you love. Here is Do You Remember? Flying Brian will be up at the top of the hour with the countdown to the rest of the day. So don't go anywhere.